right. Welcome everybody to the Advanced Manifestation Community for Seasoned Manifestors. Welcome everybody. I'm Cory Michelle. I'm in my Airbnb and there's a lovely storm outside right on the beach. So luckily we got some good light today before it starts getting dark. So welcome everybody. Today we have a hot seat. Today I was like, you know what? Let's bring somebody on and let's look for some subconscious blocks. Now, I want to say something really quickly about subconscious blocks and let you know of an announcement that I've got. So the first thing about subconscious blocks is they're usually hidden. They're usually something that's either you sort of have an inkling about, but you don't really see how it's connected and how it's running your choices and running your mind and running your thoughts. And this is where, when we dive into the subconscious and we dive into what's in your subconscious to sort of repattern it to be congruent with having whatever it is you would like to have manifest, whether it's your whole life being magical and amazing or whether it's certain things in your life, then we've got to be able to find that subconscious thing that's incongruent, that's out of alignment. And like I said, so much of the time we are blind to what's going on in there, which is why it's subconscious. It's not in your current consciousness. And this is why so many people chase after, doing all the things to do manifestation right to actually get a result, and then don't get the result that they want. They fail, or they feel like they failed, or they feel like they're on the hamster wheel and not actually getting anywhere. And that's because there's a blind spot. So we're gonna bring Judith on here just in a moment. And before I do that, I've got something super exciting. So hello everybody, welcome. Say hi in the chat if you're here, and if you are watching the replay, just hashtag replay. If you're watching it later, let me know you're here. So hello. So I have 12 years of this career. I have been obsessed with the subconscious, obsessed with manifestation, obsessed with energy and human behavior, neuroscience, how the brain works, how everything works with the quantum field. And that's been my career, is helping people create the lives that they love and they desire sustainably and consistently. And basically what that takes is knowing that you can create anything at any time. And when there's that connection with your subconscious and your conscious mind, then manifestation works like magic. And that's the way we're all supposed to function. When it's not working is when people come to me and they say, Cory, I've tried everything. And what I want's not showing up yet. What gives? What's going on? What am I missing here? So it doesn't matter how long you've been trying. If the synapses in your world aren't connecting, if there's something out of alignment, then we can help. So I've got announcing today a brand new quiz that is an accumulation of, I think, some of my best work. It's the very start of some really cool stuff I'm going to be launching. So I will give you the link to that at the end today, and I hope you go take the quiz. If you've got a manifestation block, if there's something that you want to manifest that's not showing up, then of course take the quiz. But if your manifestations are on point and you're living your magical life, then you probably aren't blocked. So don't go looking for blocks. Okay. All right. So let's bring Judith on now. All right. Hi, Judith. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm very good.
Good. All right. Well, I'm great. I wish it was a little more sunny out here because I am at the beach. I can see the ocean right there, but it's okay. We're gonna deal because we're here with you guys today. So say hi to Judith, everybody. So Judith, you had posted. I put a call out and said, "Hey, who wants to be in the hot seat?" You were the first one, and by the time I checked, you were the only one. So I'm like, ooh, are people like nervous? Did they just not see the post? Like, this is an amazing opportunity to have somebody look at, hey, what's going on, so that maybe there's a breakthrough on the other side. So I would like to know, what is it that you would like to manifest? Like, what would be your dream?
I would like to manifest a business that supports me, and not just my basic needs, but like my wants, my desires, but a business that also is something I love to do, but also provides balance. So I'm not working 24/7. That allows time for a relationship as well. Mm-hmm. I do want a magical life. I listen to you all the time. I'm like, yes, I want a magical life too, not just a business. Like, let's throw it all in. But the thing have been working on for about 20 years is trying to create this business that will support me And it's just been back and forth, back and forth. But that
Uh-huh.
was what I wrote in the chat. I'm like, she's not going to pick me, but here I am.
Here you are. Awesome. All right, cool. Okay, so first of all, what have you tried already?
As far as like manifesting, and I've tried vision boards, I've tried visualization, I've tried law of attraction, I've tried a bunch of different coaches, even a law of attraction coach. I've tried Harv Ecker's the Millionaire Mind workshops twice, Claire Zammit, Feminine Power, Success Codes, like
Yeah.
a lot,
So,
healing sessions, all that.
like, yeah. And you are a healer. So what is it that you're doing right now?
I am doing Reiki, animal communication. I'm also doing energy drawings, which are like readings. And then the other thing, I love writing. That's probably my most passionate thing. I have a Patreon site, so it combines my blogs, my writing, plus some Reiki. So that's currently, and some workshops with some friends who do crystal bowls and restorative yoga, combining the Reiki with that.
Great. So you got some cool stuff. And I've actually had massages and Reiki and channeling from you that were absolutely amazing way back in the day, so long ago. But I do remember. Can I tell this story real quick? Because Judith is amazing. Judith is amazing. Well, there was so much. It was such a lot. It was like this amazing, like epic massage. But one of the things that you had said, we were talking about my angels at the time, and this was like, gosh, 2010 maybe. Like it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And Judith said something about connecting with my angels, and it was like all about how supported I am and all of this great stuff. I don't remember all of it, but I went, at that point I was like into it a little bit, but I wasn't fully like connected. I didn't really know how psychic and aware I was at that point. I was just starting it. And what was so great is I went to lunch after that massage. I went to coffee or lunch after with a friend of mine, and she said, "Cory, I have a gift for you, and I just had to give this to you." And she gave me a necklace with angel wings on it. And I was like, "Oh my God. Oh my God. The angels are talking to me." It was the confirmation I needed because of all the messages I had just received. And then that, and I was like, okay, all right, I'm in. I get it. I get it. So I know you're good, and I know that you've got a lot to offer. So that's not the issue. It's not an issue of being a newbie and not knowing what to do. You have your gifts, right? Okay, so I'm taking notes, by the way. That's why I keep looking down over here. Okay, so then what do you think the issue is? Now, this is a question, by the way, I always ask people, okay, is what do you think it is? Why do you think you're struggling with business?
I think you just got done saying I have a lot to offer. I think I do, but I don't think it's enough. Like, I don't think I'm, like with the Reiki and the massage, I'm like, who wants to do Reiki without the massage? Because I used to do it with, well, now it's my ex. So in my head, I'm like, I have things to offer, but like, I don't have enough, or I'm not good enough, or I don't go deep enough. Except when I'm out in Colorado at song school. That's the only time that I feel like I'm enough. I've been doing that for 20 years. I'm like, that's my magic place. So
yeah, okay, well, that's a good question there. If that's your magic place, then why aren't you there more?
That's a good question. I go once a year for a song school, and I do Reiki. I used to live out there. And everyone who goes to the song school is all different places.
Yeah.
They're from
Okay,
all
so
over.
it's a kind of group community that you come together. Now,
Yeah.
so it's really clear just with this very short chat, asking you a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Confidence. Confidence is a subconscious block. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's not, like I said before, it's not that you aren't amazing at what you do. You have a lot to offer, and you're great at it, and we already know that. And you've been great at it for all of these years. In terms of you're not confident in what you're doing, it's confident in that it's enough. Am I enough? Okay. So then let me ask you this question. How old were you, or was there a time in your life where you didn't feel like enough? Like, when did
There are
it
a couple,
start? When did not enough start?
there's a couple times. It was like in the third grade. Our teacher had this diagram of teeth, and we were supposed to code the teeth, and we all like wrote the name of the teeth, and we drew arrows, and he got so upset, and he was so mad because we didn't color code it. It was so obvious. So I felt pretty stupid then. I'm like, I can't even figure out these color coding teeth and then I guess when I was 2, when I was in the hospital for a week, and my dad would come and visit, but he would leave every day, and I wasn't sure if he was going to come back. So I don't know if that's partly like I'm not enough to get him to stay.
Mm-hmm.
Those are a couple things.
Okay, great. So those two things could definitely be in your subconscious, running this, how you function in specifically in expanding your business. Because one of the biggest things I see with people who have some sort of subconscious block, whether it's in the world of clarity, confidence, or even freedom, and freedom is freedom to really be you, freedom to really choose for you, freedom to be bold in that way, like holding back, like I've got to be a certain way to be loved and things like that. Those are the three main ones. And when we have either any of those really, or one of them more highlighted with regards to business, oftentimes we'll be stopped in actually really learning how to market our business in a way that works for us, and
Yeah.
2, selling.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are usually the two, because it's not, like I said before, like how many of you guys are really great at what you do? You already know that you're really great at what you do, right? But there's this lack of connection to customers,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Yes.
that's usually coming through not being confident in that. I'm like, is this really enough, right? Am I really going to be able to provide enough, even though you're getting all the testimonials? Right. People are saying you're great. So there's a disconnect there. One of the reasons this is happening, there might be multiple, but one of the main ones, you got a lot of people in the comments saying, yep, that's me too. One of the reasons this is happening is that because that subconscious memory, now it's a pattern is there of, well, when I go try to be, do my business or have a business that's supporting me or make money or connect with customers, the old subconscious little file in your head that says, but maybe I'm not enough. Maybe I'm not going to do enough. Maybe I'm going to do it wrong. Maybe I'm not going to see everything. Maybe I'm not going to offer the right thing. So there's this doubt. Doubt pops in there, and doubt goes, hi, I'm doubt. I will tell you all the ways that you are going to doubt yourself right now, right? Can anybody relate? So then what that does is it stops you, right? Because then you go, well, maybe I shouldn't do anything right now. I don't know what to do. And it sort of spins you out in a circle, but it never really, or then you're never really able to go, all right, so what is it that I really want? All right, I want to create this thriving business. Okay, now what are the things I'm going to need? Okay, obviously, number one, you got to be good at something, right? Have something to offer, solve a problem, be a benefit to somebody somehow, or have a a gadget to sell, right?
Yep.
You have to something, right?
Yes.
Then the next part is, how do you talk about that thing, right? How do the service or the offer or the product that you have, how do you talk about that thing in a way that people go, oh, I need what you have? Now, if you have a confidence issue subconsciously, because it's not something we want to brag about, like, oh, I'm low on confidence. Like, nobody wants to admit that. Right. So then oftentimes what we'll do is we'll puff ourselves up and say, okay, well, I'm confident. I'm confident. I'm good. I'll push my way through this. But meanwhile, your subconscious is going, nope, that doesn't match. That doesn't match. And this is where we're trying to put icing on a poo pie. There's the foundation is from when you were super young, right? That file system is going to a file from when you were super young. And what you're trying to create is something that's a lot more mature, more adult, right? But the filing system is wired right now to go to, I don't know. I'm not confident about that. I don't know. I got to question it. I got to doubt it, right?
Yeah.
So basically, what we've got to do is, number one, go, okay, so the first thing to look at is confidence, looking at what we're talking about here, but also going, okay, so how do we rewire this? How do we rewire this? Not just putting icing on a poo pie, because that's a lot of like what fake it till you make it does. Like, I'm going to go out there and be confident. And then it doesn't work because the subconscious will still be there until you rewire the subconscious to be congruent and aligned with having a business that supports you, where you're confident that you're like, I'm amazing with Reiki and all this other stuff I've got going on. It's really great. Who wouldn't want it? Right? Who wouldn't want some of Judith? Who wouldn't want all of you guys talking about it in the chat that can relate, right? Who wouldn't want you? Right? And even say that right now. Say, who wouldn't want my stuff?
Who wouldn't want my stuff?
Right? Now, how does that feel for you?
Like I was just being, not that I was being silly, but like I'll have to work on it.
Yeah. So it's like not comfortable. It's not like something you would say on a daily basis.
Right.
You're like, and then what sometimes people will say is, oh, that seems egotistical. I'm full of myself. That's like way too confident, or, stuff like that. Right. It's because it just doesn't feel normal for you or comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay. So that right there is holding this in place, right? It's uncomfortable to be confident.
Right.
The comfort is in not being confident. Okay.
Say it again.
Okay. So being confident is uncomfortable.
Right.
Okay. So uncomfortable, our whole system, and especially our subconscious, is to go where we're comfortable. Where we're comfortable is what's already wired. It's already where everything's working in this circle.
Yeah.
Okay. It's all of the subconscious patterns that are like in a file system.
Yeah.
We go, oh, that's uncomfortable. Let's go back to comfortable. Okay, let's put a doubt in there. Doubt will make you comfortable.
Yeah.
Now, nobody wants to say, oh, doubt. I'm so comfortable when I'm doubting myself. But it's true because we keep repeating it over and over. So we're used to it.
Right.
We're familiar with it. Right?
Yeah.
So when we've got this pattern going, and all this means is that something happened. There's a file in there that's very strong. And then it's got these connections to, okay, well, when we go outside our comfort zone, I'm going to be confident about this. Then that feels uncomfortable. And then I doubt myself. And then we go back to being not confident.
Right.
Okay. So there's the circle. Okay.
Yeah.
And when we do this to ourselves, here's the crazy part about this. That's actually meaning your subconscious is working. Your subconscious is working if it's doing that. Okay. Right. It's working. There's nothing wrong with you. That's just how the subconscious works. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't mean that's the way that it needs to be, because the brilliant thing about our subconscious is that we can reprogram it.
Yeah.
Okay. And so it's the reprogramming. And I'm going to show you guys in a minute how we do that in my programs. But it's different because it's not just about faking it till you make it, because it just doesn't work. Because your mind knows you're faking it, right? You're not reprogramming yourself, right? We've got to do it a totally different way. Otherwise, we are simply just going to reinforce the old pattern.
Right.
Okay. So if y'all look and say, I wonder how many times I've reinforced doubt in my life. It's crazy. How many times? You can't even count. And a couple of weeks ago, I asked everybody to look at what are your dominant thoughts? What's coming up throughout the day, right? And then that's where you can see a lot of it when you start paying attention. And the thing is, we think this is us. We think, well, I'm just not very confident. No. That's how you're wired right now, but that doesn't mean anything for what's next.
Yeah. I thought of one more example.
Sure.
When I was 5-6 years old, I was selling my art on the side of the road, and I only sold one piece of artwork, and I told for a nickel. I told my sister, you have to die before you become famous. So that was the other little thing.
Oh, yeah.
We could throw that into the mix.
Yeah. And one of the things, like, I spent 8 years focusing on trying to clear all the things. And how many of you guys have spent years trying to clear all the things, right? You've done the things, you've done the healing, you've done all the things, right? And what I realized at some point, because my big thing was money. So I was always trying to clear my money issues because I was like, oh, I'm not feeling it today. I must have another money block or something like that. And then I'd go looking for it, and then I'd clear it, and then I would feel great again. And then it was just this cycle. I realized I was addicted to clearing. I was addicted to looking for blocks and clearing them and then feeling amazing. It was like this hit I got, and I went, and the thought was always, oh, finally, this one's going to be the one that works. Right. And there was always another one until I started doing things totally differently. Okay. So instead of trying to find them, we want to look for some, because then we can sort of identify where to start. Okay. But we don't, I mean, there are amazing, by the way, there are amazing modalities, and some of you guys work with them that will, unhook blocks and then you're free of them. And that's amazing. I don't want to discount any of that stuff. This is when, what I'm talking to is when you're addicted to it. You're addicted to looking for what's wrong. Okay. Because you're always looking for what's wrong. And the clearings might give you some relief, but there's something that always comes back. That is showing us that there's actually a lack of confidence there that is creating this cycle. Okay. Now, what do we do instead? Okay. First, we say, all right, well, you want to have a business that's supporting you, where you're enjoying yourself and you have free time. Okay. Now, we already know that there's a marketing and sales gap right there, because you haven't had the confidence and really like building that out and going, well, what if people really are looking for me? Right? What if people are like, want to line up down the street for me? Like, whoa. How cool would that be? Okay. Cool. But we're not going to talk about that. We're just looking at, hey, there might be some other stuff available here. Now, here's what we want to do is we actually want to go to your future self. Okay. Because your future self has all the wisdom of what you've moved through to become that version of you. Okay. So if we go to this future self that's letting you know that, hey, you can have of this business, this supportive, thriving business. Okay. If we go to that version of you, then what does that version of you know?
Can I tell you?
Yeah.
Okay. So it knows I'm going to have a consistent business. It knows I'm enough and people do want my services. It knows that I can finally breathe and let my shoulders down. It knows that I am being me and authentic, and it's a lot less energy than being somebody else. It knows that I know how to do marketing and I know how to sell, and it knows I have value. And it knows I don't have to get up and worry each day about what I'm going to focus on, because it already knows what's priority. It knows when to, put in self-care. It knows, not to just work 24/7. It knows how to have fun.
Yes. Okay. Now, did everybody see how her energy changed? Give us some hearts if you could see how Judith's energy shifted. Right? You could see how it's like you lifted up out of this, the energy and the cycle that you've been in, to go, well, wait a second, there's something else here. Okay. Now your future self is wise and has all the information you require when you tap in and say, all right, well, show me more about this. Okay. The thing is now it will be because you've got a connection. Now it's repatterning to be that version of you. Okay. Now I want to say that's the work. Okay. Right. That's the hard part. Is starting to look at, all right, so now who am I being now? Who am I being with my marketing? Oh, I'm being not confident. All right, I'm being doubtful that people are going to work for me. Well, my future self said, hey, you're actually confident that people want to work with you. So how do I be different then? How do I be more congruent and aligned with that version of me now? Before the business shows up.
Right. That's the work.
Yep, that's the work. Now, what I typically will look at is how are you responding to life, right? How are you responding to the challenges? I say challenges because those are the ones that usually have you doubt yourself and go back into old stories and cycles and energy and stuff like that. How are you responding? Who are you showing up as? What thoughts are in your head, right? And then also, like, what questions are you asking, right? Are you asking and receiving, right? Are you using this, this law that we have available to us to ask for the support and the resources? Where's your gratitude at, right? Are you grateful for you?
Right.
Right. So we've got always these different sort of touch points that build out the being of your future self now. Okay. And that's the work. Now, it's the best work you'll ever do, and it's not always easy. And there's things in your life that will go away because they're not congruent. They've been holding in the old life, right? They've been holding in the doubt. Sometimes they're relationships, sometimes they're, where you're living. Sometimes we have these reasons why we've been choosing things, but that's only holding in the old version of us.
Right.
Right. And when we start really looking at it and go like, okay, well, why am I still here? Well, it's because of this reason. And we go, is that even valid anymore? No. And then boom, we have people choosing to move, or choosing to move house, or choosing to let go of something that they needed to let go of a long time ago. Right. And we start going, it's like cleaning the closet out, or like, does it light us up? Is it useful? Nope. All right. Get out of here.
That's right.
So it's like a whole life clearing the space and clearing, and not clearing like a, magical clearing, but like choosing differently in relationship to everything that we have in our life.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And so what I like to look at is, instead of just, I want to manifest this or that, like if you want to manifest $1,000 or a car or winning the lottery, those are things that I call that's working with the magic, working with the quantum field, right? So then you're manifesting things at a time. But that is always left going, if you don't take care of the foundation, you're always going up and down. You're like, oh, I need $5,000. I need to go manifest it. Well, that is like hard and exhausting, right?
Right.
Because you're like, I need more money, or I need this, or and so you're just up and down all the time. So that inconsistency shows us a lack of confidence underneath.
Yeah. And I'm inconsistent. I am like that, up and down, up and down.
Yeah. 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 A lot of people are. Because we've all learned about manifesting. We all learned about, a lot of us at least learned about, The Secret and all of those things back, however many years ago that was now. And read all the books and got all into it because we were like, there's truth here, right? But what I like to look at is not just the manifesting part of it. It is actually a whole life transformation. Because the thing is, you've got to have an identity transformation to really step into, especially if you're going to run a business. If you're going to have something that's life-changing, you're going to have to show up completely different. And that different is actually your future self.
Right.
Not different like to try to create yourself. That's bullshit.
Right.
It's actually tuning into who you really are, and you're letting go of all of this old subconscious stuff. You're saying, that's no longer important to me. Yeah, I get that my, 5-year-old self didn't sell, but that has nothing to do with me now. Okay. Let's actually give that little girl a hug and say she did a good job, and let's like move on. We want to create a business like an adult, not like a 5-year-old anymore. Right. And we all have stuff like this going on when we start to really look and go, oh my God, that's the program that the file system is going to. That's the dominant one. Right. And we go, oh, okay, good. Now we just need to reprogram. And part of this reprogramming is connecting to your future self. We start responding as this future self through life, right? As life comes up. And then there's this, what starts to happen is embodiment. And this is when people start saying, oh, my whole life's different. They're like, okay, well, what did you get from the transformation program? They'll go, I can hardly say because I'm just so different. I see everything different. Like I'm different. And that's the point, right? That's the biggest compliment we can get is I'm just different.
Right.
Yeah. That
Right.
means you have now embodied a future self and it's sustainable.
Yes. Sustainable is,
Sustainable.
that's what I want.
Exactly. Right. Awesome. All right. So what are you getting from this? What are you seeing for yourself here?
I'm seeing, I like how you say I look for all the wrong things because that's what I do. And then I get so distracted from trying to like take care of all these things about me that I think are wrong. But I like the thing of just focusing on the lack of confidence. It doesn't exactly, I don't know. I don't even think I need to exactly know where it comes from, just that it's there. And I maybe even just tell myself if I find myself sliding, like just say reprogram, like recalculating, like the Garmin. Maybe if I just say a word like reprogram, but it just shows me like I am like the real me is just like right next to me. I just gotta like take one step over, like and not do the cha cha. Just like
Not do the cha-cha.
yeah, just step into me, but it's just it makes it feel more tangible, like I'm right there. I just have to step over and just show up different. And it's that whole mindset too. Like how I think out in Colorado, bring that with me all the time, wherever I am. Because I'm like, of course these people want Reiki from me. They love me. So I gotta take that everywhere I go, not just Colorado Song School. Which I haven't heard on. Yeah.
That is. Go ahead.
Oh, it just seems easier when I talk to you. Not easier because it's work, but attainable, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Well, the synapses are firing right now. You're making connections and you're looking at it going, oh, because we just moved a few things out of your world. Just in this conversation, we moved you, and you just said it perfectly, is you were focused on what's wrong. Right. And once we sort of go, oh, I don't have to focus on what's wrong. I just know, there's been a confidence issue. So the question is, all right, who am I that's the confident version of me? How can I show up confident right now? And then you have a really great reference point already that says, hey, everybody loves you already. You're amazing. Okay. So we already have reference points there. We go, okay, let's have more of that. How can I engage more of that and more in that version, more as that version of me who is in that particular situation in everyday life. Right. And then you start choosing that over the doubt, over the old you. And you'll see as certain things show up in life, you go, oh, that is where I normally would react and go into the old. I'm going to respond as the confident me this time instead and see what happens. And that is the best way to reprogram anything, is show up and respond differently.
Yeah.
Yep. You can listen to a million hypnosis CDs and do all the clearings and all the things, but until you can show up in life and respond differently, that's where the work is. And sometimes you go, oh shit, I'm really doubting myself, but I'm going to show up as the confident me anyway. And then boom, you start to rewire it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is all of what we uncover in the, oh no, where'd I go? There I am. That's hilarious. This is all of what we uncover in the quiz. So I got a quiz for you guys. Thank you so much, Judith.
Thank you.
This was awesome. Thank you for being our hot seat today. And I hope you guys got value from us just taking a quick look, 30 minutes, diving in, find a lot of really great stuff in our subconscious when we're looking for it, instead of looking for what's wrong with you, because there really is nothing wrong with you. You're just stuck in patterns that you got when you were little, or you're from your parents or inherited them or whatever. No matter how long you have been in that pattern, it doesn't matter if it's 2 years or 20 years or a lifetime. You can shift out of that. And I'm an expert at actually helping people shift out of these. So here is the quiz. I'm going to put it up here. Let me find it. There we go. Da, da, da! Announcing. It's you can do the HTTPS and then go.magicallivingbydesign.com/quiz. And it's also already at the top of this live stream. You might already see it up there. So there should also be another post in the Facebook group in a couple of minutes here. So you'll see it there if you want to take it. Now, the cool thing about this quiz, and Judith, I'm just going to pull you off of the screen for a moment here. Thank you so much. And I wonder what's going to be possible for you now. Thank you so much. Everybody give her a big whoosh for joining us today. And oh man, I'm so excited for you. Okay, so with this quiz, you're going to get the results, and it just only, I don't know, it's not very long, so it just takes a couple of minutes. So when you get the results, there is a 10-minute video where I talk about your particular manifestation block. So it's called What's Your Number One Subconscious Manifestation Block? And watch that video afterwards, and you'll start to see what's going on a little bit like we talked about today. But then also I'm doing a live presentation on how to actually step into this future self of yours so that you can show up as that version of you and your life will start manifesting in the most beautiful, magical way. So I hope you join me for the live presentations. I've got 3 of them available and they're only live. So you have to come live. There's no recordings for these or live presentations. So you'll see all of that after you get the quiz. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see what you guys gain from all of this and see about yourselves and what contribution it is for you. So awesome. All right, you guys. I adore you and have so much fun with this. I wonder what else is available for each one of you. Connecting to your future selves, moving long beyond any subconscious block, and stepping into the magic that you truly be. Go take that quiz. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.